Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dicey D20. My name is Noah, Dungeon Master, and I'm joined here by our players. We have Rogar Ragnak.
Oh, that's loud. Hello.
Oh, am I trying to hear that? Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Wait, turn it back up a bit.
This is a perfect start.
I like being introduced first.
My ears.
Yeah. How's it going, everyone?
We're also joined by Tyson
How does
McKay.
this work if mine's the second one?
Jesus Christ.
Hey guys, I'm here. I don't have hearing problems.
And finally, we're joined by Laina of the Iron Wolves clan. Laina, how's it going?
It's going good.
+1 inspiration point, Laina. We all
my
feel
God.
for your vocal cord loss.
It's only an audio podcast, you know?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I was on all the way down, so I can actually hear you now.
Okay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, last we left off, our heroes were standing on the wall at the gate of Ryberry, looking out towards an ominous presence, a green glowing light with these shadowy figures illuminated, kind of backlit by it. And those figures have since receded into the forest, that ominous glow kind of fading until it dies into darkness. And then a heavy fog rolling over the open fields outside of Ryberry. We are left with our heroes standing atop the wall with Wolfhelm, Groban, Galix, and Irina, as well as prominent members of the Iron Wolves clan. We've got Laina, as well as Mcain, Ansel, Rodolfo, and of course Ularic. Now, is there anything you guys would like to say before we hit right into it?
It was quite a party.
It's quite a lot of people on that wall, there's no doubt about it.
How strong are these walls?
Not strong enough.
There can only be room for one.
And I start kicking people up. King of the hill.
Okay, as these figures have receded and everyone's kind of peering into the darkness, everyone kind of reluctant to turn their backs on it. But after a few minutes pass and it appears that the imminent danger is no longer there, it is Wolfhelm and Ularic who look at each other and they kind of exchange this solemn stare. Both of them obviously reluctant to just, like
Kiss.
Kiss each other.
Kiss. No, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, they're both leaders.
How far are they from each other?
They're about 5 feet from each other.
I'm gonna stand like right beside them, watching in between them.
In between them.
Yeah, like not right in between, but like just off to the side, but like in the middle of them.
Okay, because you weren't there before.
Where was
you're
I?
Looking to, well, so you have to imagine Wolfhelm and Ularic were right at the center of the gate above it, and they were standing side by side, and then all their members are either on the right-hand side for Ularic's Iron Wolves and the left-hand side for Wolfhelm's Knights and yourself, Tyson.
Okay, I shimmy through with my large belly.
Oh.
Okay, so you're shimmying around. You're quite weak, though, Tyson, so, I mean, you're looking pretty gaunt. And Ularic and Wolfhelm are looking at each other. They both kind of exchange this nod, and Wolfhelm says, "We need to figure out a plan." And Ularic looks to him and says, "To the mayor's hall, then." So these two men kind of turn, each walking down one side of the steps behind the gate that lead up there, and their men following them, okay? So as Wolfhelm passes, he nods at all of his men, so he's looking to have Irina, Galix, as well as Groban and Rogar Ragnak all join him up at the mayor's hall. And Ularic does the same. He looks over and he nods at Irina and Mcain, as well as Rodolfo and Ansel. And they begin to shout orders at their own respective men, telling them to take up posts all around the city and to watch the outlying fields around Ryberry.
So no one wants Tyson, is what you're saying?
Well,
Correct.
no one acknowledged Tyson, but you can. I mean, you've probably earned a place there, right? You're probably welcome.
So this is where I choose a side, and which side of stairs I go down. Oh god.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
How far is
This is a big deal.
How far is the jump?
How far is the jump?
The jail.
Oh, the jail.
No, the jump from the top of the wall. Don't correct me.
Send me to the jail. That'd be funny.
The jump's about 15 feet.
That's not that bad.
I'll push you.
I can make that. I'm pregnant though, so I'm pretty weak.
How about I go to the bottom and then I just catch you as you jump?
Catch me. And it's like that open arm, like twirl me around a little bit. Nah, I walk down the stairs.
Which side?
Yeah, which side? The Knights of the New Moon or the Iron Wolves?
Both my girls on either side.
Oh.
Who's your girl on Ularic's side?
Mcain.
No!
I like that slimy bastard. No, I walk down Ularic's side to be fun.
To be fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Tyson McKay walks down Ularic's side, and he's following behind Laina. So, Laina, you notice Tyson McKay kind of huddle in with your group and follow you guys down the stairs. Would you like to make any comment on that, or
Blast
just let it pass?
I'll just kind of like evil smile. I can't do one of those in real life, but like evil smile and like nod, like fuck yeah.
This was the only handicap access.
The right side is a ramp, the left side is stairs. I can't do stairs.
I roll down it on my belly.
Okay, so the two groups of warriors, Knights of the New Moon and Iron Wolf Clan, kind of march up the cobblestone streets of Ryberry, men rushing past them, people kind of peeking their heads out of their doors, asking passersby, soldiers and guards, what's going on. You know, there's kind of hurried responses.
We're all dead.
As you guys kind of walk through the crowds and head up to the mayor's hall.
Does the Bright Lord actually say that? Because that'd be
Bright
awesome.
Lord's getting chaos.
We're all dead.
I wave as I go by them.
God.
Okay. So people kind of look confused at Tyson McKay as he's waving at them, but no one seems to acknowledge him. In fact, I think the whole town at this point knows he's just a sack of shit.
I saved their asses. No, I tried though.
So what is going to occur, guys, here is they are going to walk up the steps to the mayor's hall, Ularic kind of opening the doors wide, and his men and women kind of enter, his cloak kind of billowing behind him.
And Wolfhelm opens the other door, and I have to choose again which door I guess.
I mean, it's double wooden doors, so I mean there are sides, I guess, but they're not divided. So I mean, this really seems like you're splitting hairs at this
funny.
point.
Still choose a side, ponder it for way too long.
I choose Wolfhelm's side this time. Great chaos.
Ularic begins to pace right before the riser, where the mayor's chair or throne is, right? So he begins to pace in front of that, and Wolfhelm takes a seat at the end of the table nearest to the throne. We've got Irina, who's kind of posted herself up against one of the log support beams, one of the poles, and then Grobin and Galix take seats right behind Wolfhelm. Okay? Rogar, Ragnak, where would you like to sit with your boys?
I'd like to sit beside my brother, the other
Beside
Dragonborn, Galix, yeah.
Okay, so you sit beside Galix, and then on the flip side of the room, McCain takes a seat opposite Wolfhelm, as well as Rodolfo and Ansel. And Laina, where would you like to be in all this? Kind of leaning up against a pole, or would you like to sit in the mayor's throne, or what are you doing?
No, not in the mayor's throne. But where is Ularic going to the mayor's throne?
No, he's not sitting there. He's just pacing in front of it. He's thinking.
Pace behind him.
If Tyson took our side, I'll kind of stand with you wherever you go, but I'm not gonna sit. Like, I'll go kind of closer, standing near but away from the throne. So kind of behind where Ularic's pacing behind the throne. Not really behind it, but like closer to that wall.
All right, and Tyson McKay, where would you like to be in all this?
I sit cross-legged on the ground.
Do you have a side, or you're just gonna sit like right down the middle?
Is there a table? Is there a table that's not being used?
It's one long banquet table.
Just in the middle.
Okay, yeah.
I thought you're not sitting on the throne. You just walk.
I thought about it. I'm not gonna lie. I thought about it. Yeah, I sit it where no one's like sitting at the table. I'll sit in the middle of the table.
Okay, so you're climbing up on the table and sitting on it.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so as you climb up on the table, Tyson, your eyes kind of flick upwards, and you see the hooded, cloaked figure of Damek.
I'm sorry, I'm not in the jail.
No, he's you know that upper level, kind of that wraparound balcony that's up top that the Iron Wolves kind of busted through. Yeah, he's standing up there, his hands kind of clenching the balcony, the railing there, and he seems to be overlooking. There's no real light up there, right? It's kind of shadows and dark, so he seems to be up there watching.
I wave as I sit down.
Okay, his eyes and his whole head kind of turns to look at you, and you see those piercing green eyes. And for a moment, you almost see this like wicked smile of teeth before darkness kind of envelops them again.
We're friends now, guys. Me and Damek, like two peas in a pod.
That's not a friend.
Best buds.
thing.
Yeah, well, 3 peas in a pod. He's got 2 personalities.
Okay, so there's silence for a moment before it is Mcain who looks to everyone and says, "So, what is it that we're going to do?" Galix speaks next and says, "Oh, I suppose you have some brilliant plan, Wolf."
Ooh.
Wolfhound?
Wolfhelm looks to Galix and says, "Silence." And Mcain says, "Yeah, silence." Ularic then snaps at his own man and says, "You're not helping. Be quiet."
Fight.
Okay.
Kiss.
Wolfhelm looks to Ularic and says, "So, what do you make of this?" And Ularic turns towards the rest of the group. He stops pacing for a moment, pausing, and he says, "I do not know. I haven't seen anything like that creature before."
Same.
And I was about to say, maybe someone wants to say something. Yeah, Tyson McKay with the same. So Tyson McKay says same, and everyone seems to ignore him. Okay.
Hi. I have input.
It is Irina who speaks up and says, "What is the point of such a beast?"
Fun.
Would anyone like to?
To bring mankind down.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Rogar, are you saying that out loud?
Yeah.
Okay, so Rogar says to bring mankind down, and there's silence for a moment in the hall.
Hey, we call it people kind here. 280. Let's go, guys.
Ularic looks to you, Rogar, and says, "The Dragonborn might not be wrong.
You're goddamn right.
That'd be a first.
Such a beast can only be bred for one purpose. It was a berserker, a shock troop, meant to scare us and intimidate us."
Well,
Wolfhelm looks to him. Well, it worked. Wolfhelm looks to him and says, "I've seen more fearsome and frightening things than that beast. No, it had a different purpose." "What do they want?" Irina says to the group. "What do they stand to gain by sending in that monstrosity?" And as she says this, Groban, who's kind of rubbing at his eyes, begins to cough pretty violently.
He's infected!
You okay there, bud?
You screaming that out, Rogar?
Yes.
How do you know this?
Okay, so Rogar screams out in a very effeminate voice, "He's infected!" I might be good at Rogar impersonations.
Yeah, you
And,
do Rogar.
and everyone almost simultaneously kind of slides away from Groban.
I slide slightly towards him.
Oh.
Okay, Groban looks to everyone and says, "What? Me? I can't be infected." Wolfhelm looks to him and says, "Whatever got on you, brother, got on me as well."
Uh-oh.
Warren, you look good though, right? Can I perception check him?
Yeah, you can, if you'd like to.
I would like to. That's a 14.
Wolfhelm looks tired. He's been imprisoned, not eating, not sleeping very well. He also, broke out of the prison, and then, they had the Horlo ordeal. He actually fought the thing and, did fairly well until the head splattered all over him. He looks worse. He's, worse for wear, you know what I mean? Like, he's in rough shape, but he doesn't seem to have the same coughing symptoms that Groban has.
Can I perception check to see where the fluids landed on him? Compared to, like, if it just got on his clothing compared to his eye?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Roll me a d20.
Come on. Ooh, that's a 19 plus whatever my perception is.
Nice, yeah. So you still see these traces of the slime and the bodily fluids on Groban's head and face. However, Wolfhelm appears to have caught most of that spray along his upper chest and not above his neck.
Wash it off. I burn his clothes.
He needs a bath.
I'm gonna mention that, and I'm gonna say, you might want to clean yourself off before you spread that to others.
Right now.
Jesus, that's your commander.
Wolfhelm looks to everyone, and he just kind of like stands, walking away towards the other end of the hall. He begins to remove his clothing, and he kind of removes it down to his undergarments, essentially.
This is
so he's got
exactly
kind
what
of this.
I wanted.
I toss a coin his way.
I don't know. This is this kind of party.
Tyson, you don't have clothing. You just tossed a sock.
It's my only sock.
I will follow you,
Okay.
Commander.
Oh my god, you're all fucking terrible. He strips his top, his chest and upper body down down to his skin, essentially. For those of you who are wondering, it's pretty much just Laina. He's very chiseled. He's got this thick chest hair and back hair. It's
nice.
brown and then kind of has these silver tips to it. He's an older guy. But he's kind of, I don't know the name of this guy, but he's that tattoo artist who's kind of older, who also is like a tattoo model.
Oh,
Yeah.
the prison guard guy?
I don't know. It's an older guy though. He's got like a silver beard and he wears like pretty cool clothes and
Shane?
yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure why that was important for me to bring up, but it definitely was.
I stand up and I take my pants off and then I offer them to him.
Wow.
Okay. So,
I'm so
before
into
you-
this.
his back is kind of to you as he grabs a torch off of the wall and throws it down onto the clothes, which ignite and begin to burn on the ground.
Oh my.
Uh-oh.
There's a fire in the building now.
What building?
I put that out. Frost!
I make it bigger.
Okay, so he turns back, the torchlight kind of playing with his obviously muscled upper body, chiseled, and he walks over to Tyson, who has taken off his pants and is thrusting them towards him. He looks to Tyson, shakes his head, but accepts the pants and puts them on. Tyson then, I'm assuming, goes back to sitting cross-legged. Tyson, do you have underwear? Like, I'm not sure that's something that you'd wear.
I had something on underneath, I think, before.
Okay, loincloth? Yeah.
Did you
Loincloth.
Wait a minute. When you stole that guy's clothing, which is what you'd be wearing, I'm pretty sure you specifically said you're not going to take his underwear because you didn't want to leave him totally naked.
But I think I had something on before that, didn't I?
Yeah, you had the loincloth before.
Yeah.
I hope you don't.
So I have a loincloth. Yeah, I don't have
Oh
underwear.
yeah, Elena, do you hope he doesn't? Do ya?
So I sit cross-legged with my loincloth.
As he walks by, Galix pulls off his outer vest and hands it to Wolfhelm, who places it on. His arms are still bare. His chest kind of, there's obviously a gap where the vest doesn't cover. So, Lena, you're still getting a glorious view of that chest hair and that treasure trail,
I'm lesbian now.
Oh.
Rogar's gay, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Wolfhelm sits back down and then says, "If this beast was bred to infect us, we need to take steps and precautions. Groban and I were exposed."
We're gonna cut off Groban's head.
Okay, so Tyson McKay says, "Let's cut off Groban's head." To which I'm assuming you say it. You know what I mean? Like you.
Oh, I see how it is. No, that's fine. Yeah, I say it. I say it out loud. Everyone to hear. I stare at him while I do it.
Irina looks to you and says, "Out of the question." And Ularic speaks up, saying, "I don't like him any more than anyone else, but he may have a point. What if your friend becomes one of them?"
You don't. I heard he likes me.
I interrupt and I say, what if we just quarantine him,
Wolfhelm says, "Until we know what we're dealing with, perhaps quarantine is the best idea." And Groban looks to everyone and says, "But I can still fight." And everyone kind of looks at him, and Irina's face kind of falls, and she looks down and away. Galix also turns from Groban's sight, and it's Wolfhelm who says, "You will do as you're told, brother." So,
Bye.
Wolfhelm then looks to Galix and says, "We will need a space. Somewhere where the air can't be contaminated. Somewhere far away from everyone."
Sir Bardas's cabin.
I mean, we could put him back in the cell. But
Oh.
There was like a whole bunch of stuff on top of the jail, though.
Yeah, that's where the guards kind of sleep.
Okay, let's just burn that down.
Okay, so Wolfhelm says, "The infirmary at the Knights of the New Moon headquarters,
oh
or
god.
the jail cell, would make good
Good idea. Yeah,
spots."
I like that. Let's
Okay.
put it in your area.
It's not my
So
area.
he
My
looks
area.
he looks to Galix and says, "Galix, escort Groban down to the infirmary." So Groban kind of stands. He looks, like kind of like his heart. He's hurting, man. You know, like he's sad. He doesn't want to be the one who's quarantined. He certainly doesn't want to be sick. You know, but he nods towards everyone and begins to walk away. Galix walking a few steps behind him.
I wave as he goes by.
Okay, so Tyson McKay waves. And Ularic looks to Wolfhelm and says, "And what of you? You were also exposed to that creature."
Who said that?
Irina, that's Ularic. And Irina kind of takes a few steps forward and kind of in a louder voice says, "We are not locking him away. Groban looks sick, but my father does not."
True.
I agree with that.
Well,
Mcain
better safe than
shrugs his
sorry.
shoulders and he's kind of twirling one of his daggers in his hands and he says, "It could be dormant inside him."
you're dormant. Shut up.
Okay, so Tyson McKay yells out, "You're dormant, shut up." To which Wolfhelm looks to Tyson and says, "Calm down, Tyson. I appreciate the sentiment, but he's right."
Can't talk to you that way, Dad.
Irina goes beside her father, and kneeling beside him, she says, "But if we put you in there with Groban, you could become infected just by being there. Please, wait a few days, see what happens."
Why don't we have a total contamination zone and then a medium contamination zone?
No, I think that's stupid. I think he's fine.
Okay, so Laina says, "I think that's stupid," and Ularic looks to his daughter and says, "He may be a fool, but he's never made more sense than now."
Oh my god, that's twice he's agreed with me tonight. I'm the best son. He loves me. I'm like his unadopted orphan.
He
Not
looks
child.
to you, Laina, and says, "We know that something is going on with the half-orc. However, the leader of the Knights of the New Moon isn't showing any signs of whatever this is."
So we'll just wait till
And
we
if we
see
place him-
signs.
It's a bad idea.
Yeah. Ularic looks to Wolfhelm and says, "A second contamination zone, for those whose fate is undecided, might be wise."
I agree. Oh wait, that was my plan.
I
Ularic?
just don't think a second contamination zone that'll be maybe is the best idea, because then all it takes is one person to be contaminated for all of those who may have not been to become contaminated.
They just don't
So
touch each other.
maybe what they need to do is go to their residences, wherever they
Oh god.
like go to their. If you think you're contaminated, then you go to your own house, their own residence, and then we'll do checkups.
Sounds like a lot more work.
Wolfhelm,
Are you infected?
Wolfhelm looks to everyone and says, "They are all good ideas, my friends, but I will listen to my daughter and wait until there are any signs.
I like that idea too.
I doubt very much that this is contagious until we begin to show the symptoms."
No.
I like that idea
Cut
too.
the heads off of all the incontagious, stick them on spikes, put them at the door so that the undead are scared.
I hear garlic works.
And what if a cure is found? Irina says to Tyson McKay.
I was saying this
Would
in
you
my
have-
head. How are you inside
having
here?
deja vu.
Have I been talking aloud this entire time? I always thought
Tyson
I was talking
McKay, you begin to feel very weak with all of the speaking and the gesturing that you're doing.
I lie down and take a nap.
Okay, so I love how you don't even I'm gonna try and push through it. No, I'm just gonna start sleeping on the table. Okay, Tyson McKay begins to curl up on the table, and
No pants.
Wolfhelm and Ularic share a glance, and Wolfhelm just subtly shakes his head at Ularic. Is there anything that anyone would like to say before we proceed?
Night.
Okay, so Tyson McKay says goodnight, and Ularic looks to everyone and says, We need to know what we're dealing with. It's far too early for that, Wolfhelm says. We need to fortify the walls. And tomorrow, during the day, when we have the sunlight on our side, we can go investigate the woods and see what we can find.
We're gonna go out there? I mean...
All the eyes turn towards Tyson McKay and then return to the conversation. And Mcain says, I agree. Sorry, Commander. But if we go out now, we would be vulnerable.
Nobody else knew
Anyone
about
else?
the guy with the glowing eyes, right? It was just me and Ularic?
No, all the Iron Wolves know of Damek.
No. When we looked out in the field, there was one guy with a lantern and glowing eyes.
You didn't see glowing eyes.
Oh, okay.
You saw that he had something shiny at his side.
Was me and Ularic the only ones who knew that?
You and Ularic are the only ones who saw that, correct?
Okay.
What are you hiding from me?
I'll let that be like that, I guess.
Okay. Ularic looks to everyone and says, is that how you all feel?
How do we feel?
Yes.
Oh, waiting until morning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I nod my head to the morning.
I roll over.
So, Ularic looks to everyone and says, if it is the will of this council, then I suppose we will wait until morning.
We're a council.
He looks to the Iron Wolves and says, go now, get some rest. Allow the main guard to watch the walls. We need to be strong for tomorrow.
What if we just bring Tyson out the gate and then you can hear it?
Wolfhelm looks to Irina and to Rogar Ragnak, and he says, you should do the same. Our men can handle the night, but we will need to be ready for tomorrow and what it brings.
All right. Time to join Tyson on the table.
You do have a bed
No, let him.
in the Knights of the New Moon headquarters.
I'll head towards there.
So
You can sleep on the floor.
Iron Wolves begin to filter out, as well as Irina and Wolfhelm. Laina, what would you like to do?
I was thinking about following Mcain, and then I was thinking maybe I want to go just back to the prison on top.
Okay, that's where McCain's going.
Okay, yeah, I want to go there then, too. I'm nonchalantly, with him.
I'm gonna carry Tyson with me.
Okay, so you begin to pick Tyson up. Tyson, are you going to just let it happen, or are you...
Yeah, I nuzzle up to his chest.
Okay. So, Rogar, where are you and Tyson heading?
To the Knights of the New Moon, just to where my bed is.
Okay.
God.
Oh, God.
My butt.
Okay, so we'll focus on Laina first. So, Laina, you are walking down the steps and down the main cobbled street of Ryberry towards the guard quarters. And you are walking alongside Mcain. Rodolfo and Ansel are walking maybe 10 feet in front of you guys.
Okay.
Mcain looks to you and says, what do you make of all this?
I think we need to be very careful about all that liquid and contamination.
I think you're right. Too bad about the half-orc. He might have been useful in combat.
If he can pull through, that'd be the best situation.
Yes. But I mean, did you see that thing?
Yeah.
What if he becomes one of them? You and I need to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Get Tyson, he'll cut heads off.
But we need to make sure we're doing it at the right moment, that we're not doing it too early.
I agree. Ularic wouldn't be pleased. So, you guys have arrived at the guard headquarters, and you can walk in the door. The main floor is kind of tables as well as racks of weapons. It's the upper floor there where there are some barracks for the guards, and Mcain begins to walk up the stairs. He turns around to look at you and says, are you coming?
Yeah.
Not yet, and then wink at him.
Yeah, I do that. No. Yeah, I also just want to tell him, maybe even just before he says that, just don't do anything. Don't make any actions without me knowing about that, about the half-orc.
Okay. He looks to you and says, of course. I don't want to end up on Ularic's bad side.
Alright, and then I'll kind of get closer to him and we'll walk to wherever he wants to go.
Okay, so he's heading upstairs. There are a few Iron Wolves that are asleep, passed out in beds, but not many. There are only 2 others here. Rodolfo and Ansel seem to have gone off into the night, and there
Ew.
is there are 2 men who are
They're brother and
passed out.
sister.
They have been drinking, and they're on the other side of the room. There's about 5 cots on the left and 6 on the right.
Choose. Push all the beds together.
I want to sleep over.
Mega bed!
Let's build a fort.
We need to fight the undead plague army. Mega bed!
The closer we get, the stronger we are.
Ularic, I think you're missing the point here. This is mega bed.
I'll just kind of go sit on the edge of one of the cots on the side with 6 beds. I can't remember if you said that was left or right, but the side with 6 beds.
It was the right-hand side.
Right-hand side.
Mcain walks over towards you, and then sitting in the cot opposite yours, so on the same side of the room, but just cot opposite yours, he looks to you and says, "We should probably be getting some sleep."
I nod, and then I go to sleep.
He was inviting you to have
sexual intercourse.
I know, but I can't get pregnant right now. It's too early.
Oh my god, McKay.
Tell him to put sheep intestine on his dick or something.
Also, I feel like it's like real soon. Like, I'm a girl on this podcast. I don't want to play this card.
You could just do butt stuff.
The fans won't count.
Oh, right. I could just suck his dick.
No, just butt stuff.
Okay, so you kind of...
To him or her?
Both.
Oh my god.
So I'm assuming you get in your bed under the kind of scratchy, rough covers, and Mcain kind of slumps, kind of falls back onto his bed.
So I lay down like you suggested, maybe with one leg off the bed, one leg on the bed,
no
and
pants
then
on.
yeah, where those typical female armor where just there's no vagina pieces.
Is that what they're called?
I don't know. No. But yeah, I'll just kind of like be laying down, and then I'll look at him and be like, I don't know how I'm supposed to sleep with all this going through my mind.
His body?
Okay.
I have anxiety. No, just kidding.
Are you just saying it? Or are you trying to be seductive? Or are you...
No, I'm more just saying it. Like just confiding in a friend.
Okay.
Friend zone.
So he looks to you. He's lying on his back,
bad.
but he turns his head to the left and kind of looks at you. His eyes kind of gleaming with a little bit of moonlight coming in through the window opposite the room. And he says, "Aye, it is much to think about, isn't it? Supposed to be a simple job, this one. An undefended city, just ripe for the taking, and now this."
Let's do it.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that, though. Like, I guess I'll just kind of look up at the ceiling.
Oh.
Okay.
Cut a hole in the ceiling so you can see the stars.
And so it rains on my face.
It's romantic.
So he looks to you and he says, "I think we should leave."
Like leave Ryberry?
Like lovers?
Like lovers?
Let's leave and never come back.
Think about it, this town didn't have the gold to start with. And it seems like they're reluctant to give it up. The Iron Wolves could make it out of here and leave them to deal with whatever accursed army this is.
I owe Ularic my life, though. I don't think I could betray him like that.
Oh, I'm not saying betray him, no. He hears your counsel. He listens to you. And to me. With 2 of us, we could convince him that this is folly, staying here.
I mean, that's not a bad idea, because it's not like I need to help these people at all. I feel bad for the pregnant male, though. He's not right in the head. He's just had a bad stream of luck, Probably the same thing that got us caught up in this town. It was the same bad luck for him.
You know what? Plus 100 experience
Yay!
points. That's funny.
Do I get pity experience?
Yes, you get 5 experience points. Oh my god, he writes it down. So he looks to you and says, "Look, I'm up for a fight as much as the next man. I've fought for much less, but I'm certainly not willing to become one of those horrors. Just for what? A few pounds of silver?"
How do we present this to Ularic, though? I understand where you're coming from, because I don't want to die for this town when I don't have any real reason to fend my life for it. But Ularic's not going to go for that.
Ularic sees reason. He knows. He doesn't want to appear weak and back out of the city, I'm sure. But he knows that this isn't a fight that we can walk away from unscathed. I mean, look at what that thing did. Even after death, it's inflicted pain on that half-orc.
Well...
We need a better reason than that.
Look, just think it over. We'll go to Ularic some other time. But now he was right. We should sleep. Tomorrow's going to be a hell of a day.
All right.
Good night.
Kick my other foot up on the bed and I roll over to the other side.
Ooh, sassafras. Okay,
His taint's
so
not getting touched
Laina, I'm
tonight.
going to give you 250 experience points for late night talks with a friend.
Can we have that, Rogar?
You're about to see.
And if there's nothing else you'd like to do, I'm going to transition over to Rogar and Tyson McKay.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, so Rogar, you have carried Tyson McKay all the way down to the Knights of the New Moon headquarters, their guild hall. The doors opened for you after a couple of the Knights of the New Moon opened these eye slits in the door to ensure who you are, ensure your identity. They close them, unbolt and unlatch the doors, and allow you in. The whole hall is lit fairly well, even though it's the middle of the night. And it seems like there are equally as many Knights of the New Moon sleeping as there are, awake and active.
I open my eyes to the bright light.
Okay, so Tyson McKay, you open your eyes and kind of squint a little bit. Rogar, where would you like to go?
To my room.
Okay.
Oh, God.
All right, so you head to your room, kind of kicking the door open with your foot, not hard, but gently. Right? You enter the
God,
room.
it was locked as the door goes through the door.
And what would you like to do with Tyson McKay?
I'll place Tyson on my bed,
Okay.
and then is there like blankets there?
I say, Rogar, my legs are cold.
Yeah, you have fairly nice blankets, so you can put the blankets over him if you
Yeah,
want.
I'll do that.
Because he's still just holding
Aw.
his hand.
Rogar, you know what? You're a bright lord. You're a good friend. I'm gonna give you 200 experience points for this.
Wow.
Thanks, buddy.
You know, you're taking the time in the gameplay to do things that a bright lord would do, and I appreciate it.
I set everything on fire.
And
I'm too hot. Too hot. Just flames.
I'll head back down to the guild hall and see what's going on there.
Bye, Rogar.
Alright, so Tyson McKay, you quickly fall fast asleep, and it's one of the soundest sleeps you've ever had. Like, I mean, you're knocked out cold. You're
Wow.
exhausted. Your body is, like, very physically and magically drained.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
All right, cool.
So, Rogar, you head down to the main hall, okay? And there are Knights of the New Moon bustling about, many of them boarding up windows and kind of reinforcing weaker points in the walls of the Knights of the New Moon headquarters. Even though, obviously, the enemy's outside the gates, the Knights of the New Moon know, and as is one of kind of their main thoughts on combat, is if you control the arena, you control the battle. Right?
Yeah.
So they know that if something gets in here, they know this place better than anyone else, and they're going to defend it pretty well.
Alright, I asked them if they need any help.
Okay, so the one man that you go up and talk to and say, do you guys need any help? He says, actually, I think you're wanted in the study.
Oh. I go over to the study hall then.
All right, so Rogar, you head over to the library/study hall, okay? And fast at work, papers and books opened everywhere. Wilmond, the scribe and
boy.
the historian of the Knights of the New Moon, with his spectacles kind of drooping down his nose. He has taken off pretty much all of his layers except for his base shirt.
Oh,
He still
God.
has these kind of baggy pants on. And he's quickly flipping through the pages of a text. When you walk in, he downs the shot of alcohol that he has in a glass, throws it in the corner, and you hear it break, and he looks at you and goes, I need you.
Say, Wilman, how are ya?
He comes up to you and he grasps onto the collar of your clothes. He gets really close to
God.
your face. It looks like he's got like kind of a thin layer of sweat on his face. He kind of pulls his longer hair out of his face and he goes, how do I look, Rogar?
And he rubs your nipples.
I say, pretty stressed out.
Okay, so he licks the corner of his mouth a couple times, and he goes, stressed out, and he walks over to the other side of the room. He says, oh, if it's not find me a succubus this and that, it's what's this fucking plague monster that comes out of a well? He's like, you know how many fucking stories there are about wells and monsters?
2, 3.
Many.
More than 4, he says. And I'm a slow reader.
Oh, that's like,
Oh, God.
you're the worst kind of leader.
So he turns to look to you. He slumps down into his large armchair, grabbing the bottle decanter of liquid that he has. He kind of looks at it, assessing that there's, and he just kind of like shakes his head, seemingly disappointed in how little there is. He goes to reach for a glass, realizes there isn't one on his little side table, and just begins to drink out of it straight.
Oh.
Stop him, Rogar.
He places it on the ground and scoots his chair up towards the corner of his desk. He actually has a desk chair, but he's not using it. He's sitting in the armchair and he's pulled it towards the corner of the desk. He throws a bunch of papers off it, slams a fresh piece of parchment down. He quickly grabs a piece of charcoal and he says, describe it to me.
Okay. Well, at first it was making a loud noise of crying and moaning in the well.
Okay, so on the top right corner, he begins to scribble like crying, wailing. He says, good. Any other sounds?
Sound like it was in pain or stress or, yeah, well.
In pain. Okay. Anything else?
And then it climbed out of the well and it just looked disgusted and infected and there's pus everywhere.
Okay, infected in what way, though? You have to be fucking specific, he yells out, like, at you, and
Like-
he kind of shakes his head and says, like, was it openly wounded? Did it have boils? Did it have scars? Was there hard parts of its body? I mean, you need to be real fucking precise.
All of that.
Was it all of them?
All of it.
Yes.
It can't be all... He starts to kind of draw. He says, what did its head look like?
Oof.
Orange.
I don't know. Undead.
Wasn't a woman?
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
Everything was
There's no
bloated
reason for these
pussy.
lesions
in the water, though.
and for these diseases to infect an undead. Their tissue is necrotic. It doesn't have any value. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. You see, an undead doesn't grow mushrooms or chitin or hard parts of its body. It doesn't have fungus that grows because there's nothing to grow on, you see?
Yeah.
So it's not a zombie then, isn't it? Right? It's not a fucking zombie. And everyone keeps coming in here saying, there was a zombie, and it's fucking making my job hard.
Oh, definitely not a zombie. It's some sort of infection. I'm not sure. Like,
Okay. Was it wearing any clothes?
no, not that I saw.
It was definitely wearing clothes.
Was it?
It was like
Was
gross. It was like gross clothing and all tattered and stuff, I thought.
Tattered clothing.
Okay.
Okay,
Tattered.
so
yeah.
Just lie to him.
What
Make shit
what
up.
answer are we going with here? Tattered clothing, no clothing?
Let's go
Do you want
tattered
to roll a memory
clothing.
check and see?
Oh, sure.
That's probably smart, right?
It's a 4.
You don't know whether it was wearing clothes or not. You have to make a decision here.
I'll just go with like tattered clothes.
Tattered clothes, okay, tattered clothes. So it either grew out of them. How big was it? Was it larger than a man?
It was bloated.
Yes, it was larger than man.
Larger than a man.
Not in height,
Tattered
though.
clothes.
I would tell him not in height. It was
In horizontal.
like
Yeah, I would say not in height, but like weight wise, it's
Okay, so it wasn't taller, but it was wider. Did it bleed?
no. When we cut it just kind of pussed everything out.
Okay, you see, this is the problem, right? How is it still moving if it doesn't have blood?
It's a puppet.
Magic.
But of course,
Oh,
it's magic.
I would-
Oh, Rogar, he says, he kind of steps up and like kisses you right on the mouth.
How is this not the first
I don't
thing
know
you
if you want to
found?
stop him or not, but he's definitely coming in for the kiss,
Oh,
and he
God.
grabs you and kisses your mouth, and he says, "You're a fucking genius."
I know.
You rolled a 4 on a memory check.
what did I have for breakfast?
What did we have for
So, it's magic. You see, that's the thing, right? If it was a fungus, if it took over the brain and it made it do what the fungus wanted, it would still need the body to be able to function.
Yeah.
Even in the most minimal form, but without blood, without circulation, it can't do that, right? See, it's destroyed the body. So how is it still moving? And you're right. It's magic.
And that glowing thing controls them that we don't know because Laina hasn't told us.
Ta-da!
And here's the real question, Rogar, the final one. Was it hard to kill?
Not really.
Did it in one turn.
It's pretty easy to kill, actually.
Now see, Rogar, if you could do this, if you could make these creatures, right? And if we see that Groban becomes infected in some way, why would you make them easy to kill?
Well, that way...
So you kill more of them and get more infected.
Yeah.
Exactly. This wasn't some damage dealer. This wasn't some creature meant to destroy houses, kill a bunch of men, and take as many down as it could. No, it was just designed to be this Trojan horse.
Yeah.
This carry-on for whatever diseases it's carrying. And from the sounds of it, it's carrying a lot.
I hope we blocked up the well.
I don't think so.
I think we went, wow, nobody go near that again.
Rogar, he looks to you and says, well, my dragon-born friend, and he kind of wipes the sweat away from his brow, and he says, you're the first one to be fucking useful here.
Wow.
I'm sleeping. I'm sorry.
Nice. I asked him if there's any, like, weaknesses or, like, precautions that we should take. I know, like, stand far away from it, but...
Well, you're seeing what's happening to Groban now, aren't you?
Yeah.
I wouldn't let these things come close to you. If I were you and I wanted to live through this, I would either pull up an armchair or grab some type of long-range weapon.
Why don't we just wrap all our, like, the face, wear goggles and, like, a mask?
Are there goggles?
Like, just cover, like, the...
You're already wearing goggles, you lucky ass.
I know!
So, he looks to you, Rogar, and he says, you've been invaluable, my friend. I couldn't have done it without you.
Wow.
Give me my 2 gold.
See, now that I have a clear picture of what we're looking for, I can actually go through these texts and find what it is that's going to be attacking this city. So, you have been the only one who's been able to help thus far.
Wow.
And thank you.
I tell him anytime.
He kind of nods towards you and then begins to quickly pore over books again, almost instantly forgetting that you're there. And Rogar Ragnak, you're going to gain 750 experience points for helping in research.
Perfect.
Did Laina and I get XP for yelling the answers at him?
Yeah, you know what? I'll give you each 100.
Wow.
I'll take that.
Okay. Rogar, is there anywhere else that you'd like to go right now?
Well, I ask Wilma if he needs help with anything else before I go.
He kind of is like muttering to himself, and he goes, "No, just go, just go."
Okay. I leave and go back to the guild hall.
So back in the guild hall, things are slowing down a little bit. More men have taken their leave to go to bed. But you see Irina walking in the front door, and she's walking briskly in the opposite direction as you, going towards the commander's office or chamber.
Oh. Can I follow her?
Okay, so you're just going to turn around and just start walking behind her?
I'll ask her, like,
What's up, girl?
I'll be like, where are you headed?
She says, I'm going to speak with my father. If you want, you can come as well.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, so Rogar Ragnak, you begin to follow Irina as she heads into Wolfhelm's office with his very large desk, the map of Norian along it, and, kind of plated and covered in glass, right? You see Wolfhelm, his back is turned to you guys, his hand's behind it, and he is staring out the window at the pale light of the moon. As you both enter, he turns and says, "Ah, my friends."
I say, how are you feeling?
You guys are like
He
the
says-
peanut butter boy.
Yes.
All things considered, Rogar, I feel quite fine. I am saddened at what's happening to Groban. Have you seen him?
No, not recently.
He's having these coughing fits, almost uncontrollably. I'm having to limit the amount of time that our healer can spend in there with him, and he has covered himself to prevent the spread.
Compliment Wilhelm's pants.
I mentioned to him that Wilman and I looked up a bit more of what that monster was and like how it's controlled.
I set Wilmond on the task hours ago. Tell me, is he any more sober than when I left him?
I'm afraid not.
And is he any closer to uncovering what it is?
Well, we discovered that, when you guys cut into it and there wasn't any blood?
Yes, I remember.
Well, there needs to be blood for it to move. And we think it's under control by magic, some sort of magic.
He looks to you and he says, well, this is quite the discovery. Even Wilmond, half in the bag, can most of the time uncover what others can't.
Yeah, and I say its main purpose was to infect everyone, not to destroy anything. It was just to infect people.
Then it's as I feared. If our enemy is playing this game, it's a dangerous one to fight. We'll need to consider our tactics and change them as we would with any other beast.
Mm-hmm. And I mentioned to him we should use long-range weapons when we're fighting another one, if it appears.
So he looks to you and he says, that is brilliant, Rogar. Truly well done.
Yeah.
I want you on this personally. Oversee that all of our men are carrying crossbows as well as bows, and anything that can be thrown or shot.
Okay.
I don't want them engaging the targets and tell them to keep their distance.
Yes, sir.
Another thing. What do you think of this newfound alliance with the wolves?
I mean, I don't respect any of them, but if they're here to help us, then we might as well.
I am going to run.
If they're here to help us, we might as well fight with them, right?
The enemy of my enemy.
Exactly.
What's Tyson?
Still my enemy.
I'm the friend of your enemy's enemy.
We will need to keep an eye on their lower-ranked members. Ularic seems to have his mind set on this goal with us, but his daughter and the others I am not so sure.
Yeah.
That bitch.
We'll just make sure to keep an eye on them.
Out of nowhere.
That bitch.
Go back to sleep.
I peek my head in.
I just say
He looks to you, Rogar, and he says, the party that's going out of the gate tomorrow morning. I want you on it.
Oh, God. Yes, sir.
Whatever it is that you find out there, share that information with the wolves, but share only what you must.
Okay.
I want to keep them close, but at an arm's length, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah. I ask him who's going out the gates with me.
He looks to you and says, Ularic has requested that he go personally.
Oh.
So he may do as he pleases. He will most likely leave Laina or Mcain in his stead, as they are his best. But other than that, I am not sure.
Yeah,
it seems as though Rodolfo and Ansel will be joining you.
Okay.
Fuck them, they're horrible. Man, get them killed. I don't care about them at all.
Ansel's the best.
I hate
Rogar loves Ansel.
Yeah.
Every time she comes up, something stupid happens. Oh, I don't know what happened.
I tell Wolfhound that I should get some rest for tomorrow then.
Quite right you are, my friend. Take your leave, and rest well.
Okay, I nod my head and I leave.
Okay, I'm going to give you 250 experience points for battle tactics with Wolfhelm.
Alright.
And we are moving on to Tyson McKay.
Wow.
Okay. Actually, Rogar, are you going to your room to sleep, or are you just going to take an empty bed? Because, it's a small room. There's only one cot.
Yeah, I'll just take an empty bed.
Okay. The room beside you is available, so you can just sleep in the room next to yours.
Sure.
Kick that door open as well.
All right. We're moving on to Tyson McKay. Tyson, in your deep sleep, you hear a knocking sound. As if in a dream, it seems to echo around your mind, and a voice whispers, "Wake up."
Hello?
Are you waking up, or are you just going to continue to talk in the dream?
Both. I
open.
I wake up.
Okay, so you wake up and turn to see a crow smacking its beak into the glass of your window. It looks to you, and its eye turns from black to a dark shade of green before switching back to black.
Birds are talking to me now.
Welcome to the club.
I was so prepared for you to say, you see a crow tapping on your forehead.
Ouch. Okay, I open the window. What could go wrong?
Okay. So you open the window and the crow flutters in, standing upright and ruffling its feathers on the night table beside you. It opens its mouth and keeps it open. Instead of speaking with the voice, like opening and closing its beak, it just opens its mouth. And the voice is unmistakable. It's Damek, who says, "I trust your dreams were pleasant."
You're fucked.
What's up, D-Man?
D-bag?
No, we're buddies, okay?
Isn't it wonderful, everyone working together?
I like the chaos. I miss it.
As do I. I miss it. So tell me this. What have you come to decide about our previous conversation?
Oh, like what I was gonna do?
Yes.
Why'd you put your hand over your
going
face?
to do?
Because he's sleeping right next to you now. He's going to be like, "Can I have the Dragonborn?" You're going to say yes, and he's just going to walk over, grab him, and go back out your window.
Oh my god.
He doesn't know I'm in that room.
Damek knows all.
Oh god.
What was the deal again? You want to refresh my memory?
I require spellcasters. For what purpose, that will remain my business. And you, well, I assume you wish not to die. Your time has run out, anyone can see it. Soon you will pass into unconsciousness and then into the void. I can prevent that. In return, though, I need you to bring me a spellcaster.
Tell me you can have Groban.
Groban's not a spellcaster. And I don't really know him either. What are you gonna do to him?
I need to consume him.
Oh, but I don't want him to die.
Death is a part of life, Tyson. You pride yourself on your lack of friends, and yet here you show empathy for them.
Well, he gave me these blankets, so I kind of care about it.
Ah, you're right. Blankets.
Don't be a smart ass, dude.
I like Damek a lot.
Blankets aren't going to keep you warm when you're dead. Think about it. Your planeswalker friend has abandoned you. Your mousefolk friend is nowhere to be found. And you are in a situation where if you don't die today, it will certainly be tomorrow.
You're asking me to sell out my only friend that hasn't left me.
Ah, but the other day you said it was as though he had.
You're right.
And yet today you think it's all merry, peachy keen.
Yeah, he carries me to my bed and that's it. He expects me to forgive him, eh?
You need to be well to fight off these horrors. I have seen what's coming, and it doesn't look good for you if you turn away from me now.
Well, tough titties. See ya.
So?
Make a deal. Make a deal.
Do you know the next stage
You're
of
gonna
what
kill me
happens
if you
to Tyson?
do.
It's you or me, buddy.
You will lose more of your strength, and then you will slip into unconsciousness. I've seen it before. And once you're there, very little can be done to bring you back. Already you feel the sweet embrace of sleep. That is when the tadpole will emerge, right before you die. Answer me.
I know we're live, so this isn't entertaining.
I so want to say something, but I feel like it'll ruin it for you. I think you need to make your own decision on that. I can just think of 100 different ways out of this situation. And you're just
Nah,
killed.
you know what we should do? We should just take another 5-minute break, throw up the Dicey D20 screen.
20 different ways. Could I just find... Do we know any other spellcasters?
Yeah.
I don't know how
I know
it
this
hasn't
girl.
come up yet.
Why would I sell you out?
Why wouldn't you?
Why are you okay with this?
I'm not, which is why I wasn't
What
going
do
to say
you
anything.
mean, why wouldn't you?
Because he's a...
Damek is sworn to the leader of the Iron Wolves. He can't go against his wishes overtly.
I know, but he could
And
try.
ever since Ularic took you in, Laina, you're off limits to Damek. He's not allowed to touch you.
Sexually.
Well, another thing that I was gonna thinking was that he also, Damek even said himself, oh, these things are really powerful. You need to be as powerful as you can be for these things. But then he's gonna kill potentially Rogar. So why not say we need as many people as we can for this? You can have Rogar after, but then you'll figure that out once you get to that bridge. Just buy yourself as much time as you can. You'll wiggle your way out of it eventually.
I think about
So can I just promise Vel when he comes?
Oh.
Oh, that's a fucking ballsy move.
Yeah, but him and Val would be a good fight.
It would be. That's pretty legit. And I wouldn't promise Vel right away. I would promise it after the battle is over with the poisonous monsters.
I could just promise him Vel. I don't know when Vel's coming. It's clearly not any time to save me.
Yeah.
That's true.
At minimum after the battle is over.
Okay. All right, Damek. Ideas have changed. I sat here 5 minutes just thinking to myself. You guys were my conscience this whole time. What if I could promise you a stronger planeswalker?
A stronger planeswalker.
One with a lot more
The
power
one
than
who's
me.
supposed to be coming to save you.
That's a fucked way to present it to Damek.
It entices him.
Yeah, I know, but that's fucked.
We don't even know that he's coming.
Oh, he'll come.
So I help you, and there's no telling if my end of the bargain will be honored.
I can promise you, Damek. He owes me his life, and he swore that he would help me.
That is if he's still alive.
I would know if he was dead.
Oh, you would know.
Yeah, planeswalkers have a sense about each other. Deception check.
It is no knowledge that I know of.
Can I try and...
Tell me again, how does it work?
Well, when one planeswalker dies, it radiates through the planes, and the rest of us can
Roll
feel
me
it.
a deception check.
I feel it in my butthole.
It's not nat 20, but it's up there.
What do you got?
Deception, 23.
I have a 17 plus... Yeah, no, so you beat him. He looks to you and goes, perhaps this is true. Perhaps it isn't. But in the world I come from, a deal is made and things are exchanged. I would be handing you your freedom from this curse, and you would be handing me nothing now.
It's like interest.
Is it solely that you don't want him to die? Because there is another way.
I was gonna make this whole speech about it. It's like interest. You save the weaker planeswalker, you get a stronger one later. But okay, we're going down this path now.
If you don't want your friend to die, I can simply consume the part I need.
His dick.
Yes, his dick.
That's where his magic comes.
It's the bright part, though.
What?
He will lose his spellcasting abilities, but I will gain the power I need.
That's a negative.
Will gain your power back.
Then really all you will have is a spear.
I'll just be a regular warrior.
You could call yourself a bright light. You could just be a nice guy.
You carry around a lamp all the time.
What if I just sat on your back and whenever you wanted to cast a spell, I cast for you?
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Rogar, I don't want to die.
Just sell Vel out.
Val also had a dragon.
Yeah.
It is a shame about you, Tyson McKay, that you won't live till morning.
Damek, do you want Vel?
Well, no, I don't want this Vel. He's not here. and you and I are on borrowed time.
Rogar?
I'm gonna fight him if he tries to kill me.
He's not trying to kill you, he's taking your power.
I'm nothing without my powers.
That's not true.
It's 100% true.
You're a nice guy, and you
I'll
fight.
lose my life points. I won't be able to grow claws or anything. I won't be able to cast spells.
What if we work together to get your powers back after the fact?
You can't.
We could kick Damek's ass.
Do you have a god?
He does not, I don't think.
No.
Wait, is he gonna heal me first, or is he gonna kill him first? Whatever.
Well, he's not
How do
there.
you think Damek would run
Yeah,
this?
He'd kill me first and then he wouldn't heal you. He'd let you die.
Yeah, you haven't done any insight checks on him. You're like, yes, okay, deal.
Just gonna let you die.
You promise you're gonna heal me, Damek?
My word, of course, I will heal you.
Insight check.
Whether your body survives the healing process becomes more of a question every second you hesitate. You're growing weaker, and the concoction I have to cure you is going to hurt a lot.
Sab, I gotta do it.
Does Wolfhound know magic?
I'm gonna fight him if you do. And I'll probably fight you
Every
too.
second your life force becomes weaker. You may not survive the healing process if you wait much longer.
Oh god. And you don't.
Where is your planeswalker friend when you need him?
And planeswalkers out of the question. Nice green planeswalker. Level 10 probably.
A Bright Lord now, over a planeswalker later. Certainly. And how would you be handing me this Vel, this planeswalker?
I could trick him.
He's more powerful than you are.
I'll say, come here.
I say, come here, boy. They'll I know where he lives.
Oh, you know what? +1 inspiration point and 100 experience points. Vel, I know where he is.
And I love the thought that, let's say there was some way for you to get Dobrik there.
Weird name.
Damek.
Here's the problem.
Damek.
Damek can't travel to.
He doesn't
that plane
have
of
to know
existence.
where he
But
lives.
let's just
He
say,
just has to know that
Also-
I know where he lives.
let's just say he
Also-
got there though. He would to be delivering him to a demolished house. He'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Also, you know where the Bright Lord lives, so that's not like a one-up on the Bright Lord plan.
I know, but it's a bit more of a step towards the right direction, right? Of convincing him.
I mean, I guess.
Like I know where he has to go back to.
He's convinced that you can bring the Bright Lord to him. He's not convinced because you told him that, right? The Planeswalker's coming to save you, but he hasn't. And that's why he's questioning whether or not he's even going to show up, or if he's still alive, or what.
You know what?
Does the
Vel's gonna
audience-
show up tonight.
I'm just throwing it out there. Tyson, do you need some time to think about this, or do you want to move forward with it?
I want to move forward, but I'm really like, I could die if Vel doesn't show up, or if Damek stop being a bitch. Take my deal. I don't want to kill Rogar.
Then we don't kill him, Tyson. We simply strip him of his powers.
After the fight.
If you're gonna strip my powers, you might as well just kill me.
Jesus.
After the fight, and then cross that bridge later.
Yeah.
Weren't you a Bright Lord before you had your powers? Weren't you a nice guy before then? You were a fighter, a warrior, strong in the army.
Yeah.
So
There's no way I could regain it though if he takes it.
wait. Do we know that? Because you didn't have your powers originally. You grew into them. So maybe you can get them back.
Noah's laughing, so that's a negative.
I'm laughing because it's because it's Tyson's just like trying desperately to make any plan work that doesn't end in someone dying. He's like, but you could get them back, maybe. Like,
It's a small percentage.
Well, you really don't want to lose your powers, Sab,
I don't.
and you really won't take Vel's powers, Noah.
Damek is not going to take Vel.
You
And
know
we
what?
don't know where Fievel is, Noah.
Fievel Mousentrouve knocks on the gates. He says, "This is my undead army. No longer will the mouse folk be downtrodden.
That guy there, he's got powers. Murder his ass.
No, you guys don't. You guys do not know where Fievel is.
All right, well,
I think Vel's is gonna show up for you, bud.
I really don't know. All right, I will say I can't do that to my friend. Damn it.
Boo.
Unless you want to ice princess.
I like that.
I am forbidden to touch the frost witch.
Yeah, she doesn't look like she gets touched much.
Plus 100 experience points.
Does Damek laugh?
Shane, we get to go home right now.
Damek looks to you through the crow, Tyson McKay. His eyes flash green for a moment, and the crow speaks again and says, "It was nice knowing Planeswalker."
Bye.
And the crow begins to dematerialize into smoke.
No! I bang on the wall beside me.
Okay, so you bang on the wall weakly, and Rogar Ragnak, can you roll me a wisdom check, please?
It's 11.
Okay, it's over 10. I'm going to go with it. You wake up to hear feeble banging on the wall. It sounds like a small child is hitting it with a tiny fist.
I wake up and I go see what the noise is.
So Tyson McKay is covered in sweat. His breathing is shallow and weak.
Gross.
And he can barely raise his head to look at you. His eyes have these dark circles under them, and he looks very thin.
He peed himself as well.
It's sweat.
He wet the bed.
Yeah.
Sweat.
Say, Tyson, are you okay?
My water broke.
Ew.
No, Rogar. I'm not okay.
So as Tyson says, "No, Rogar," you see this very large slug-like shape slide over top of his collarbone and down into his chest area.
Oh, God.
But then it disappears underneath his skin, and you can no longer see. It was just protruding skin, right?
What is that?
You wince in pain, Tyson McKay. It's very painful.
I don't know what to do.
I think that's one of my worst nightmares.
Rogar, I'm gonna die. And it's all your fault.
Can I rush down?
He carries you to bed, you wake up and you go, "It's all your fault."
Can I rush down to the library?
Okay, so you pick Tyson McKay up and rush him down to the library. You have Wilmond, who is currently face down, passed out on some parchment at his desk.
I mean, I'm still sad.
You bust in through the doors, and I'm assuming you're just going to place him on the desk.
Well, man.
Okay, so you place him on the desk with a thud, and Wilman wakes up. He goes, "What the fuck?" And he looks at you, and he goes, "Who the fuck is this?"
My name's Tyson.
This is my friend.
And I'm gonna die.
Tyson, your eyes are rolling around in your head. You're sweating profusely, and you're mumbling, but no one knows what you're saying.
So like usual.
I say, this is a close friend of mine, and something's wrong with him. I'm not sure what.
Something's wrong. He's gonna fucking die on my table.
That's the least of your worries?
No, that's the most.
I
That's the
think
most of my worries.
I think we should try the freezing plan. Come get me.
Push me down the stairs.
Okay, so Wilman looks to you and says, "Why the fuck isn't he in the infirmary? What's going on?"
I saw something crawl around his skin, and I'm not sure what it is. He's pregnant with something.
Told someone this side.
Pregnant with something.
Damn it.
Oh yeah, because that gives me a lot to go on. Great. You know, I'm trying to deal with this fucking plague infestation bullshit, and now you're dropping some dead homeless guy on me.
I
Say, well, you're the only one I could trust with all of this.
Okay, so as you say that, the slug-like shape slides up the collarbone, up to near where the throat is, and seems to sit there for a second before sliding back down into his chest.
gulp.
And Wilman looks at it and goes, "Oh,
I rub my belly and I say tacos for him.
no, you're unconscious and you don't know what you're saying."
Oh my god.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is a good place to leave it for tonight, if I'm being honest with you. because
You're right.
Tyson McKay's got a lot of things to think about. Rogar Ragnak's got a lot of things to think about.
A lot to think
and we
about.
just dropped Tyson McKay on the desk of Wilmond, who's not a healer. And
I know. Why don't you ever bring him to the infirmary? I feel like you repeatedly bring him to Wilmond, and Wilmond continuously goes, I cannot help you.
Because he does the research on shit, and you'll be able to know what's up.
Okay, so
I think you
he's
guys
having
have a lot to
swab
think
baby.
yeah, I think you guys have a lot to think about, and I think it's probably best that we leave it here, if you guys are cool with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else that anyone would like to say before we sign off for the night? Tyson, any words?
Good night forever, ladies and gentlemen. It's been nice knowing you.
This is Tyson McKay signing off for the last time.
After 54 years on the air.
All right. Anyone else? Any last words?
Does McCain like me yet? Are we going to have a baby?
Oh yeah, that's really the question we need to answer.
You can have Tyson's baby.
I'm really concerned about myself.
That's fair.
McCain looks at you in a favorable way.
Good, I'm
I mean,
gonna
it
fucking
seems like
crush
he-
his heart.
He likes what's going on, you know?
Oh, that's not what I thought you were gonna say.
Okay.
Yeah, she wants icy
well,
I'm going to
ladies and
just
gentlemen,
destroy his soul.
I shouldn't have woken up.
And destroy his ass.
oh my god, I shouldn't have woken up. I'm going to destroy his ass. I don't even know where this conversation's going anymore. It's off the rails on a Fievel scale. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to the Dicey D20. As always, it was a pleasure bringing you guys this pod morning, evening, noon, or night. We certainly had a blast with it. And this is your DM signing off.
Tyson's dying, and it's all your fault.
I think it's your fault for getting infected in the first place.
It's all your fault. Everyone. It's Fievel's fault for not being there for me, so I could sell him out. Because you know I'd sell him out in a heartbeat. Alright. Tyson signing out.
Laina signing in for round 2.
Yo,
go
say
again.
Rogar, let's go.
Round 2, Noah.
I'll just choke you out with a pillow. I think that'll be the best.
That would be so funny to do that. Could you imagine you go through all that together just for Rogar to take a pillow?
Just like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I'm the cuckoo. Rogar's the nest.